Hello everybody, my name is Joe, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a one-page website with WordPress. One-page websites are getting more and more popular every day. They're very simple and easy to make, so they've gotten very popular because of that. They're also very simple to use for users since there's just one page, so all information is right there in front of them. Versus a traditional website where there's multiple pages and the user has to search around and find what they're looking for. So here's a demo of what we're going to make in this tutorial. As you can see, it's just one page, and you have several sections. You have the About section at the top. You have a Services section, a Team section, a Work section, and then the Contact Us section. So at the top, we have a big, beautiful hero image, and with a nice headline, "Make something amazing." And above that, we have the top menu, where when you hover over, highlights with a different color. And then in the upper left, we have our logo, which I will show you how you can make a free logo. If we scroll down, you'll see the header fades into a whitish color to make it easy to read as you scroll. Because if it was transparent like it is like right now, it can get a little hard to read sometimes when you go over like white text. So you scroll down, we have the About section where you could write something about yourself or your company or your product or service. And then below that, we have another beautiful hero image that separates the About section from the Our Services section. And here we have some features that can be some features of your product. It can be some of your personal skills that we want to showcase, and then a little description of each. And then if you scroll down some more, we have another hero image to separate the next section, which is our team section, where you can feature some of your key employees in your company with their name and a little information about them. And keep scrolling. You have another hero image that separates the next section, which is our work, where you can show some examples of your work, maybe some companies you've worked with, or it could even be a blog of some of your blog posts. And then the last section we have is Contact Us, where we have Google Maps of your business, and then on the right side we have the address, phone number, and email, and then maybe some information about how to get in touch with your company. And on the very bottom we have the footer, and on the right side you'll see we have Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and Pinterest. And I'll show you how to add that. And on the bottom left, just have standard copyright with the website name. And I'll show you how you can add that or add whatever you want to put there. And one other thing is when you click, say, the About section, it automatically scrolls down. And same for team and work, they all scroll to that section, and it highlights the section. When you scroll up, say you scroll to team, you'll see that it highlights it. I'll also show you where you can get these beautiful hero images. There's a few sites that I know of that have really beautiful images for free. This theme is also fully responsive, meaning that it will look great on any device, from mobile to tablet to desktop. To give you a demonstration, in Google Chrome web browser, which I highly recommend, in the page, if you right click and select inspect, this opens up the Chrome developer tools. On the right side, you'll see there's this mobile and tablet icon. If you click that, this opens up the emulator. And as you can see at the top up here, it says iPad. So this is emulating as an iPad. I'm going to click this, set it to 100% to make it a little bigger. And as you can see, it looks great on an iPad. Now this is just emulation, so this is not exactly how it will appear on an iPad, but this is very close to what it will look like. And it looks really great. So everything is adjusted to fit the iPad screen, which is smaller than your desktop screen. Also, it will look great on mobile phones like the iPhone. So if you go up here and select iPad and click iPhone 6 Plus and then just refresh the page, and this is what it will look like on iPhone 6 Plus. As you'll see, for the iPhone 6 Plus, there is this mobile menu button. If you click that, it opens up the mobile menu. You click this, you can close it, and you scroll, you'll see it looks great. Everything's adjusted to fit the smaller screen. Today, the desktop is no longer the primary device that users browse the web with. Mobile is now the primary device, so it's very important that you have a mobile optimized website if you want to be able to keep up with your competition. So now, before I get started, I just wanted to let everyone know that I really encourage everyone to comment, ask any questions, any suggestions you might have on how I can improve this tutorial. I promise I'll respond to every comment, whether it's good or bad. I really want to have the best videos on how to make websites on YouTube, and the only way I can do that is with your feedback. So I really encourage comments. Also, if you don't want to comment in public in the comments, you can also send me an email at help@upword.com. I'll show you right here. It is help@upword.com. Oops. Upword.com, which upword.com is my website. And so you can send private emails to me there, and I will respond to every single email I get, assuming it's not some spam. You can also contact me on LinkedIn. Let's see, LinkedIn. At my profile page. If you want to see that's me. If you want to see my credentials, or you want to contact me there, or also connect on LinkedIn, you can do that there. And the final thing I wanted to say is, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be creating some follow-up videos with any common issues users are having trying to get their website set up. So I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel. So creating a website is a 4-step process. Step 1 is to get a domain. So for example, this is a website toinspire.com. That is the domain. It's very important. That's what people are going to type in on their browser. So it needs to be something that's memorable and not too complicated, because you want to be able to just run into somebody on the street and say, hey, this my website is, website toinspire.com, something memorable that they will remember, and so when they get home they can put into their browser. The next step is to get web hosting. What web hosting is just a computer that is on all the time. It's never off. It's always on. So people all over the world can connect to this computer and download the website so they can view it on their mobile phone or their computer at home. And that is very important. You'll need that. That costs about $12, actually between $4 a month to $12 a month, depending on which plan. So if you do a longer term plan, like say you sign up for 3 years, you can get it down to $4 a month. Or if you do month to month, it's gonna be $12. Um, oh, and also I didn't mention that the domain is also $10 a year. Um, it depends. It could be more. Sometimes it can be 13 to 15. There's different factors that can, there's different sites that offer that, so that can vary in price. The third step is to install WordPress. If you're not familiar with WordPress is what is known as a CMS, which stands for Content Management System. It's basically a fancy term for some software that helps you make websites. WordPress is very popular, according to w3techs.com. So if you go to w3techs.com, they do technical surveys. One of them is they measure which CMSs websites are using. So if you go here, w3techs.com, scroll down, there's a link to WordPress. You see right here, usage. That is saying that 1 in 4 sites on the internet today are using WordPress. So the next closest is Joomla. It's another CMS, and it only has about 3%. So WordPress is way ahead of any other CMS. And there's a lot of reasons is because it's just really easy to use. It's very user friendly. It's easy to customize. It has a huge community. There's a lot of free help you can get. So if you go on, I don't know, Google and search for how to change WordPress background image or something like that, you'll go here and you'll see WordPress.org. This comes up all the time. It's WordPress is their forums where, as you can see here, it's their forums where you can see all kinds of questions people have about different things about WordPress and how to customize. And a lot of people are very helpful, and they'll help you for free. Another thing is there are what's called plugins. This is the WordPress plugin directory where you can find just about anything you want. So, for example, BBPress. This is if you want to create your own forum through WordPress. There's also, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is one. It's called WP Super Cache, which is a plugin to make your web page load really fast, which is actually very important for a website, is that it loads fast, because that having a fast website is actually a factor for Google to rank higher. If you want to show up, if you want your site to show up on the first page of Google, having a fast site is an important part of that. And let's see, what else do we have? What other plugins? Oh, here's a contact form plugin, so people can contact you, send you a message. WooCommerce. This is if you want to have an online store, that's a nice one. It's very popular. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, Yoast SEO is another really popular. Helps your website rank better in Google. And also, so the other really great thing about WordPress is the themes. And what themes are is just it gives your site a different look. So, like for example, this theme has a white background. So if you click on this, you can get a preview. It's a white background. This one makes you'll have a green background, kind of green buttons, and that's the theme. So there are, it doesn't say how many, but I know there are thousands of these are all free themes. There's thousands of them, and there's all kinds of different types of themes. There are thousands of plugins too that are free. Let's see, 45,807 plugins currently, and these are all free. So there's lots of free things for WordPress, free help. But you can also there's also lots of developers, web developers that for a fee will customize your site. If you want to do something really crazy that's people that help for free won't help you with, you can find if you go to Upwork.com, it's a website to find freelancers. You can find, say, WordPress developer, and you'll find there's thousands of people that do WordPress development. These guys must be really good because he's $75 an hour, but there's a lot of other developers that are cheaper. He's 40. I'm sure there's some out of Asia that are much cheaper. Also, there are premium themes. So if you go to themeforest.net, here, this is a marketplace for WordPress themes. Well, they also actually have they have themes for other, like Joomla is another, Joomla and Drupal, which are other CMSs. They have themes you can buy for those. But WordPress is one of their biggest. And here you can spend, say like 59, 60, they're about $60, and you can get a really, really nice theme. So that's another big benefit of WordPress, and another reason why it's gotten so popular. So that's about WordPress. So the third step is to install WordPress. That's very simple. With a web hosting provider, I recommend, which is HostGator. They have a thing called Quick Install, where you can install WordPress with a few clicks. You'll have WordPress installed. Versus doing it manually, which requires a little more work. It's not that hard, but it's quite a bit more work than just doing the quick install. And then the final step is to develop the website, and that's where we get into creating this page I showed you. There's some software, some plugins that make this really easy, and I will show you how to do that in the fourth step, and that's free because you'll be doing all the work yourself versus hiring a web developer, which can be very expensive. You can spend $1,000, $5,000 more for a site like this, which is not that hard to make, and I'll show you how to make this site. So that's the 4-step process to making a website. So now let's dig in and start making the website. So let me close some of these tabs. So open a new tab and go to HostGator.com. So this is HostGator. It's one of the biggest web hosts out there. I've been using them personally since 2008, and I highly recommend them. I've never really had that many problems. I had a few problems, but they're always very fast to resolve the problem, and they have great customer service. The servers are pretty fast, and prices are very cheap. That's one of the best parts. As you'll see here, they have a 45-day money-back guarantee, so there's not a lot of risk. And if you're not sure if creating websites is for you, then you can just sign up, see if you like it, and if you don't, you can get a refund. So on the upper left here, so where it says web hosting, if you click on that, that will take you to these 3 plans. So you have the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. So the business plan, that is more expensive. It says the same right here. That's if you sign up for a pretty long-term contract. But if you do the month-to-month, it's going to be more expensive. It's more expensive, and you get some stuff you don't really need. You're not going to need. So you get a private SSL and IP, which I don't think you're going to need that unless you plan on selling some. You plan on you're going to have an e-commerce site, and that would be the real only reason you would need the SSL. So that really leaves us with the hatchling plan and the baby plan. The only difference between these 2 plans is you'll see the hatchling has a single domain and baby is unlimited domain. And what that means is with the hatchling, you can only have 1 domain. So it's great for people that plan to just have 1 domain. You're just going to have for yourself, that's it. For people that plan to, maybe you want to host your mom's website or your friends, or maybe you plan to become a freelance web designer, which if you learn what's in this tutorial, you could become a freelance web designer. I mean, probably not right away, but with some practice, you could do it. So that's an option. The baby plan is it's a little more expensive. On this, it's a couple dollars. This is showing, you see the asterisk, it's showing, I think a 3-year contract. So it's going to be cheaper. So if you do the month-to-month, like I just do the month-to-month because, then you have the option to cancel whenever you want. It'd probably be smarter if I did the long term since I've been using it for so long, but you just never know. You never know when they might change and you want to use a different web host, so I just want to cancel. So I just use the month to month. So it depends on what you want to do. In this tutorial, I'm just going to go with the baby plan. That way, if I want to make any other websites for anybody else, I can do that. Also, you can change your mind later, and if you want to go with the hatchling plan, and then you can always upgrade to the baby plan later. So I just went back. I want to show you. So click on this Sign Up Now button. That takes us here. So the first step we were talking about, that's choose a domain. So hopefully you already have a domain picked out, but if you don't, you'll want to go, I recommend going with a .com. That's the one everyone knows, .com. So if you tell somebody your domain, they're gonna, if you tell them your domain is like, for example, this site, website to inspire, they're going to automatically assume .com because that's what everyone knows. A lot of people don't even know there's even any other, like .net or .org. So I recommend a .com. I also recommend you want to choose something as short as possible. It's kind of obvious probably because the longer it is, the harder it is to remember. You also want it to be easy to say and spell. If you walk down the street and you run into somebody, and you say, "Hey, go to my website." It's website to inspire. It's pretty short versus website to inspire on a rainy day in Chico or something. It's really long. It's hard to remember. So you want it easy to say and spell and short. So you probably don't want to use any abbreviations or things that are complicated that you're probably gonna have to explain. So also you don't want to use hyphens or numbers because that's also kind of hard to say. You say website hyphen to hyphen explore.com is, it's a lot to say. And then numbers, that can get complicated when you have numbers because, if your website is websites for free or something, and you say, oh yeah, it's four, the number four, when you're explaining it, it's a little complicated. So avoid hyphens or numbers. If you're having trouble coming up with a domain, which it can be pretty tough these days because so many, all the domains, most of the domains, well, not all the domains, but a lot of the good domains are taken. A lot of the domains that have, you know, words that people, common words that people are thinking of, those are taken. You got to get pretty creative these days. So it gets a little tough to not use abbreviations or variations of things. But to come up with domain names, one thing I do is I go to thesaurus.com is a great resource. You put in a word that you might have that you're not sure of. Like say you're thinking of amazing. You want to use the word amazing, but say the domain you're looking for is taken. You want to do amazingshoes.com or something like that. But amazing shoes is taken, so you go here, put in amazing, and see what comes up. Okay, you could try marvelous shoes or stunning shoes. That's a pretty common strategy I use for trying to come up with ideas for domains. And then another cool site is namemesh.com. It's another cool one. You put in so I'll say amazing shoes, and then hit enter, and it comes up with a bunch of different ideas. You can find stuff in here you didn't think of. It kind of does the same thing. Finds synonyms of amazing, but it has different stuff, different categories that might help you come up with a domain. And then another website that's kind of neat is wordoid.com. Wordoid comes up with some pretty interesting and unique words. So if you scroll down to this text box and enter in a word, you can also set the maximum length of the words that are generated, or the quality of the word, or the language. I'm just going to leave those default and click create wordoids, and then you'll see it comes up with some pretty unique words: amazing, amazingle, amazinger. And then on the right side, it's green, it's available, you can register it, or gray, it's not available. So that's a pretty cool resource. Then the last resource I want to show you is called panabe.com. Another generator. It comes up with domains. They've been amazing shoes. And then it comes up with ideas for domains, and it'll tell you it has a broken heart if it's taken, and a blue heart if it's available, which is not always the case. Sometimes it says it has a blue heart, but it is taken. So you'll see it gives you some different ideas. So if you are to use any of those sites, go through it and then come up with a domain, and then after that though, come back. So I'm going to close that tab, come back to here, and then put in your domain. So I thought of a domain earlier, website, actually, amazing website now. I think that's hopefully still available. And then hit enter. Okay. Amazing website now.com. I just double check that I didn't spell that incorrectly. So it looks good. So this is going to show .com because I had .com here. But then it also shows a bunch of other extensions like club and site and net online that you can purchase, which I do not recommend unless you have extra money to waste. Some corporations, actually a lot of corporations like Google and Amazon, they purchase a lot of the .nets, and because people, if your website gets big enough, people will buy the other extensions and try to leech off some of your branding, some of your the brand of your company. So some people recommend to buy all of the extensions, but since I don't think it matters that much, and it costs $10 a year per extension, that's expensive. So just get the .com and scroll down, and then you'll see this thing about domain privacy protection, which is $13 a year. I recommend this because what this does is, if you do not buy this domain privacy protection, what happens is your information, so let's say that, scroll down, if you go scroll down, the information you enter here, your billing information, so your name, address, phone number, email, all that stuff will be posted on the internet, because it's required by, I can't remember the name of the organization, but the organization that runs, that controls, domains, they require that you post that information, so that if someone wants to contact you because maybe they want to buy your domain, or you have some copyrighted information on your domain that they need you to remove, they need to be able to contact you. So if you do not get this domain privacy protection, your information will be public. If you do get it, it will be private. It won't be seen. The users searching for your information will get they can still contact you, but through an email address that is encrypted, so they can't see your real information. So I recommend getting this, because if you do not get it, what happens is you will receive, not guaranteed, but you very likely receive spam email. You'll get probably a lot more spam to your email address, and you will also get some spam text messages if you use a cell phone number. I've gotten some gambling texts. I'm assuming, pretty sure it's from a couple of times when I forgot to buy a domain with the privacy protection. So for that reason, I recommend it. So okay, now if you scroll down to the next section, choose a hosting plan. So as I mentioned before, there are 3 different plans. There's the hatchling, the baby, and the business plan. You don't need to worry about the business plan, it's just too much power, and it's quite a bit more expensive, so I would just focus on the hatchling and the baby plan. With the hatchling, you get 1 domain, and with the baby plan, you get unlimited domains. With the hatchling, for 1 month, it's $10.95 a month. For the baby plan, it is $11.95 a month. So it's only $1 more a month for unlimited domains. So I'm just going to go with the baby plan. I also have a couple of coupons that you can use to save you some money. One will get the cost down to 1 cent for your first month, and I will talk more about that later in the coupon section. So the next thing we need to do is enter in a username. I'm just going to enter in amazing, and if you enter in your username correctly, all these check marks will show green. Then we need to enter in a security PIN. This is used for contacting customer support if you have any problems, and they use that for verification. So just enter something that is memorable. Then scroll down to the next section where we need to enter our billing information. I'm just going to enter in some information for demonstration purposes, and then later on I'm going to come back and change it to the real information, because some of this information is obviously sensitive. So name, last name, phone number, And then on the right side, we enter our credit card information. And then the CVV code, which is usually on the back of your card. It's usually a 3-digit number, or it can be 4 for American Express. And then enter your expiration date, which is on the front of the card, usually under your credit card number. So once we have that, we just need to scroll down to the next section, which is Add Additional Services. So in the Additional Services section, I don't recommend any of these additional services. These are things that are nice to have, but for someone just starting out creating a website, I don't think they are necessary. There's stuff you can add at a later date, but right now we don't need these. So just uncheck the hack alert monitoring and uncheck site backup, and then just make sure there's nothing checked in the additional services. So now scroll down to the next section, which is enter a coupon code. I have a couple of coupons, one where you can save, you only pay 1 cent for the first month, and then one where you save a flat 30% off. I should let you know that I do make a commission every time someone uses one of my coupons, but that helps me make these videos for free and help people out there make websites. So thank you very much for using my coupon. I have a few coupons that you can try. It depends on which option you choose. So one is Upward 1. Click validate. This coupon charges you 1 cent for the hosting for the first month. So you'll save $14. Now, up above, we chose where did it go? We chose the baby plan. So if you were to choose this long-term plan, which is 3 years, I have a coupon called Upward 30 where you can get 30% off. So you'll see you get a $107 discount. So if you're going to do the longer term contract, you'll want to use the Upward 30 code. But if you're going to do a smaller one, the shorter term, you'll probably want to do the Upward 1. So if you just do that one, you'll see you don't save much for such a long term. So I'm going to go back and change this to 1 month. And yeah, so you'll see $14 discount. So you got 45 days money back guarantee. Our domain amazingwebsitenow.com. That's $13, and then 1 month of the baby plan for 1 cent, and then $3 hosting add-ons. Somehow this got checked, so you'll want to remove that. I thought I unchecked that, but maybe since I changed the hosting plan to add that back, so just remove that. And so that's probably a good idea when why you want to review your order details. So yeah, $13 for the domain, and then 1 cent for the hosting, for savings of $13.99, and amount due is $12.96. So the last thing we need to do before checking out is we need to click this checkbox right here. It says I have read and agree to the terms. which I never read anyways. I'm sure it's fine. You can read if you want. I think it's the standard legal stuff. So after you click that, click the Checkout Now button. That'll spin for a bit while it processes your information. And then you get to this page. It says, "Thank you for your order. Payment completed." So yay, we got web hosting. What does it say here? Get ready. We're setting up your account. And it says, "We are building your HostGator account. Please wait." So while that's going, you can load up your email. So, okay. So I already got a confirmation email from HostGator. And you'll see a link to the HostGator portal. And then our email address, password. And so this is just information for the HostGator billing portal. You should get another email with information about logging into what is called cPanel, which is a portal where you can manage your website or multiple websites. And that's where we need to go to set up WordPress with the quick install. So apparently that's still running, which I'm not sure if that really matters, but go back to the email. So the second email still hasn't arrived. Usually it doesn't take, there we go. So second email has arrived. So click on this one. It says HostGator your account info. So in this email, it has our control panel. Control panel link, our username, our domain, our password, and then name servers, which you will not be needing in this tutorial. The name servers, that's if you want to point a domain to your web hosting, you would need these. So if you got another domain, say on GoDaddy.com, and you wanted to point your domain to your web hosting, you would use these name servers. But that's out of the scope of this tutorial. I can show how to do that in another tutorial if people are interested. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this link right here, your control panel. Click on that. And now we need our username. Our username is amazing. And then password, I'm just going to highlight that. And then Control C, or you can right click and copy. Command C, I believe on a Mac. I'm on a Windows right now. So I'm going to go back to the cPanel login tab. I'm going to enter my username, which is amazing, and then right click, or on a Mac you double touch the touchpad with your fingers and it pastes, and then log in. Wow. So sure, I'll say my password. I'm just gonna close this. Yeah, say no thanks, I'm fine. So this is a HostGator control panel. Has some different settings and preferences. The main thing we're concerned about is you scroll down to software and services. In here you'll see quick install. So click on quick install. And just click OK, I've got it. So then here, scroll down, you'll see install WordPress. So click on that. And then next click on install WordPress again. And then here you'll see a drop down. So click on that. And right now we just have one website. We have amazing website now. But since we do have the multiple, or we have unlimited domain account, the baby plan, which has unlimited domains, you could potentially have many domains in here. So right now we just have one, so click on that one. You can leave this blank, and then so you enter your email. So basically the same stuff we entered when we signed up. Amazing website now, and then username. This can be whatever you want. First name Joe. I'm just gonna use amazing, which is same thing I use for HostGator. So enter your last name and then click install WordPress. So now it's going to go through this. I would just say you're not interested because I'm going to be showing you how to make a website. So say no thanks, I'm a web designer. So now it says your install is complete. So you view credentials. You got your username, amazing, and then it has a password that it generated for you. So you highlight that and just right click on that and copy. I'm going to save that in here just temporarily. I'll show you how to, this is your WordPress password. I'm going to show you how to change that to something that's a little more memorable. So this right here, this is your domain, and then at the end you'll see /wp-admin, and that's very important. Eventually you'll get that memorized because you'll be going to that quite a bit. So if you click on this, probably not going to work. Yeah, it'll say this site can't be reached. The reason that is because we just registered, and it takes some time for the domain to be refreshed throughout the internet so that people can access your website. So that can take anywhere from, I don't know, an hour, 4 hours, maybe up to 24 hours. Probably shouldn't take 24 hours. Probably should be closer to maybe 4 hours, I'm gonna guess. So now's the time to just take a break, and we'll come back in 4 hours or so, and hopefully it'll be working at that point. Okay, so now it's been a few hours. So if you reload the page, you should get this login, which is the WordPress login to get into your WordPress dashboard. So enter in your username from the previous step, the one from the quick install, this username, and then copy the password and paste that into here and click login. Okay, I'm not going to save the password because I'm going to show you how to change it to something that's easier to remember. So close that. So this is the WordPress admin, also known as the WordPress dashboard. So as you'll see, these are just advertisements from some of the plugins. So one of the first things I'm going to show you is how to remove plugins, because quick install will install this Mojo Marketplace and SumoMe, and that comes default, and we don't need those. Also, WordPress installs these 3 plugins that we also do not need. So just click Mojo Marketplace, the checkbox next to it, and also click the checkbox next to Sumo Me, and then down here where it says bulk actions, click on that, and then click deactivate, and then click apply. So whenever you remove a plugin, you have to deactivate it first before you can delete it. So now all the plugins are deactivated. So if you click this checkbox to the left of plugin right here, that'll select all the plugins. And then up here where it says bulk actions, click delete and then select apply. And then you'll get a confirmation asking you if you really want to remove them. And just click yes, delete these files and data. So now the plugins are removed. So now in the upper left, you go back to your dashboard. You'll see it looks a little different because some of those plugins were showing things at the top, and so now it's a little cleaner. So this is what the standard dashboard kind of looks like. You have a quick draft where you can post to your blog, some activity. So different plugins that you install will add these different widgets to your dashboard. So now I'm going to show you how to change your password to something more memorable. So on the left side, click users, and this, you should have one user. The one was created with quick install. So just click on this edit, or click on the name, the username of your user. That will go to edit, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, see where it says account management, click this generate password button. And then here you can create a password that's a little easier. So I'm just going to create password for demonstration. I recommend creating something a little bit more, difficult to crack. So since this is saying it's a weak password, so I'm just going to click confirm use of weak password, and then say click on update profile. So now we have updated our password. So the next thing we need to do is we need to download the theme that we're going to use. The theme that I use in this is actually a WordPress theme that I created myself. So to get that, if you open a new tab and go to upward.com, that's upwerd.com. This is my website, and it's using the same theme that the demo site is using. It's also a one-page website. You scroll down, keep scrolling until you see this download theme and download images. So click on download theme, and then I recommend just putting it on your desktop. So just select desktop and then click save, and then I'll download it, and then also click on this download images. These are just images that the same images that I used in the demo site, so we can just use the same ones. So click save. So now that's saved. So go back, you can just close this tab, go back to WordPress, go back to your WordPress site. On the left side, see where it says appearance, click on appearance. So these are your themes. So these are the default themes that come with WordPress. You got 2016, 2015, and 2014. Currently, we have the 2016 theme installed by default. So let's see, if you go to, click where it says on the upper left, just click on the name of your site. That will show you what your site currently looks like, which is not not too bad. It looks pretty clean, pretty simple and professional, but not as nice as the site I'm about to show you how to make. So if you click back here again, go to dashboard, and then go back to appearance on the left side, and then at the top you'll see it where it says add new. Click on that, and then click on upload theme, and then you'll see a section in the middle of the screen where click the button that says choose file, and then now go to your desktop and find this upward.zip and just select that file, and then click install now. Then on the next screen, click activate. So now you'll see that we have this upward is your active theme. And then you will also notice at the top there are some recommended plugins that we will be using in this tutorial. So you're going to want to click begin installing plugins, and then click on this click this checkbox to select all of them, and then the bulk actions drop down, click on that, select install, and then click apply. And this will go through and install and activate all of those plugins that I recommend and that you'll need for this tutorial. So that installed all of the plugins. So now, if you go to plugins on the left side, so now on the plugins page, you should see these 6 plugins are all activated now. One of them, Easy Google Fonts. It's a really nice plugin. You can add all kinds of Google fonts. So if you go to, just go to Google and search for Google Fonts, and then click on Google Fonts. Here are the list. There's 779 fonts, and these are all fonts provided free by Google. And fonts are very important. They can make your website look really nice if you just find the right font. For this demo, I use this one called Sansita one, which I think looks really nice. But if you don't like it, you can just come through here and look through the fonts. You can change the text here to whatever you like, and you can get it to a demonstration of what it would look like with that particular font. So that's Google Fonts. I'll close that. So that's what the Easy Google Fonts allows you to change the font. Makes it really easy. And then the next plugin, this one is really important. It's called Page Builder by Site Origin. This is a really important plugin that makes creating a website really easy. And primarily this tutorial is about using the Page Builder. And we'll get more into that in the next step. And then another plugin is this Site Origin CSS. It's a plugin that allows you to change the CSS. The CSS is what modifies the page and how it looks. So you could, for example, change the color of some text. You do that with CSS. And this is probably a little advanced for this tutorial. But if you want to do some more customizations, you would need to use the Site Origin CSS. So the next plugin is a Site Origin Widgets Bundle, and this is a plugin that provides a bunch of different widgets. For example, It has a Google Maps widget, so you can add a Google map. As you saw here at the bottom, that is from the site origin widgets bundle. There's also a widget to add this post carousel, or there's a widget to add these hero images or this headline. Those are all widgets, which is what this site origin widgets bundle does. So that's another really important one. And this social share buttons by Subsystic is a really nice plugin to add social sharing buttons to your posts. I won't really be going into that in this tutorial, but possibly in a later tutorial I'll go into how to use that. And then this one, Widgets for Site Origin, is another plugin that adds some additional widgets, like the team section has the, if I go back to the demo, in the team section you have these people. That is the widgets for site origin, has that, and has some other nice little widgets. So those are the plugins that I recommend. So now I'm going to show you how to add a page. So on the left side, if you go to click pages, you'll see right now we just have one sample page. So I'm just going to click trash to throw that away. And that doesn't actually doesn't throw it away. It just puts in kind of like the recycle bin in Windows. So if you click this trash link up here and then click delete permanently, that actually deletes it permanently. So now click add new to add a new page. So we're gonna create the home page. Kind of like if you go back to the demonstration, this is just one page. So we need one page for that, so I'm just going to call it home. And then the next thing is, if you go down here to this white box, this is the content of the page. Usually in WordPress you just see these two. You see visual and you see text, these two tabs. You don't see the page builder. The page builder is added with the plugin. So with visual, you know, as it says visual, it's what you would see. So this is some text. So if I click publish, that's going to make this live. So it'll make it a live post. So if you click on this, you can view how the web page will look right now live. If anybody goes to your website, this is how it will look. It's pretty basic. There's just the title of home, and then the text we just added. This is some text, and that's about it. So to go back and edit this page, at the top, click the edit page link. So that's just the visual. We're not going to be using that because that's for just creating a really very basic page with just some text, like a blog post. What we're going to do is use this page builder. So click on this tab right here. It says, would you like to copy this editor's text and content? You say cancel because we don't need that text. This is the page builder. So the page builder, basically you have widgets and you have rows. And rows might not make a lot of sense, but every widget is going to be in a row. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a row. So click this row, and you can have multiple columns. So you could have 3 columns if you wanted. So I'm going to go back to the demonstration. So if you go down to the team section, this is actually 3 columns. There's 1, 2, 3. But most of these are just one column. You know, it's just one row. There's just one row, and this is a row, and then this is a row. So usually you're just going to have one row for most of these. So if you go back to the page we're editing, change this, set row layout, just set it to 1, because we just want one column in our row. You could also mess around here and change it, say you want to do 50-50, do that. Oh wait, you want to do 50, oh excuse me, that's if you have to set it to 2 first. So say you wanted this to be 60 and this 40, it automatically does it for you. So you can do that. So we just want 1, so set that to 1, and then click this insert. And see, now you have this blue rectangle, which is our row. So now we need to add, we want to create this top hero image, as they call it. So go back, we need to add a widget. And then in here, you can see there's all kinds of different widgets. You can add a calendar or some categories. What we need is the hero. So if you search for hero, as you can see, it's not coming up. So what we need to do is we need to enable the hero widget. So to do that, let's see, go down here to settings, plugins, and then go to site origin widgets. See that right there on the left side of the plugins, and then site origin widgets. Click on that. Then you'll see these are all of the widgets that you can enable if you want. It's probably best to only enable the ones you need. So we are going to need, we're going to need the features widget, so activate that. We need the Google Maps, that's already activated. We need the headline widget, so activate that. We need the hero image widget, you can activate that. What else? Then we also need this inked person, that's for the team section. So we need that, so you can activate that. And I think, oh yeah, and also we need the social media buttons. That goes in the footer, and I'll show you that later, how to add that. So those are all of the widgets we need. At the top, if you click this Enable tab, you can view everything you have enabled. So now that we have all those widgets enabled, the ones we need, we can go back to Pages. Let's click on Pages, and then click this Home. And it looks like we lost some stuff. I guess we forgot to save, but not a big deal. We just lost the row. So click on this Page Builder and click Cancel because we don't need the text. And then you click this row, or up here too also. You can add row. And so we'll just add one column, click Insert, then click Add Widget. So now you search for hero. Now we have it. So click on that, and that will insert it into the row. So now we need to edit this hero widget. So to do that, you just click on it. And these are the options for the hero widget. So this hero widget can also be what's known as a slider, where you have images that slide. So let me open a new tab and go to, let's see, slider plugin demo. There's different sliders out there. So here's one, meta slider. Click on that. Let's see if we can get a little demo. Image slider demo. So here we go. So this is what you call an image slider. You have these arrows on the sides, and you can slide through the images. So that's what a slider is. So this hero widget you can add frames, which each frame is a slide that you can slide through. So we're not going to add a slider for this. We're just going to add one image. So you just need to add one frame. So you just click that click that one time. You know, if you have multiple, to delete it, just hit this X. That'll delete it. So we just need one. So click on frame to expand it. So now we have this content where we can add our headline. So in this example, it's just make something amazing. That is our headline. So we also want this centered. So these you can left align, right align. We want to center it. So just click align the center. But also we want to make the font as large as possible. So right now there's some options missing. So click this toolbar toggle. That gives you some additional options. So right now it's a paragraph, which is the smallest size font. We want it to be the biggest, which is heading 1. So yeah, you can see how they get smaller as they go down. So just select heading 1, and that'll make it the largest size possible. So make something amazing. So then scroll down. You'll see there's buttons. So if you could also, I'm not going to do this in this tutorial, but if you wanted, you could add a button. So you add a button, and then you give it, you know, some text and a URL that you want it to go to. I'm not going to do that in this, but I could show that at a later time. And then see how it says buttons? You would add buttons to here if you wanted, and then it would insert the buttons there. But we're not going to do that in this tutorial, so I'm just going to remove that. So scroll down and see where it says background image. This is where you would click on that choose media, and you would select files. The first thing before we add the media, we need to extract the zip file. So if you open up your desktop, so go to File Explorer on Windows, the equivalent on a Mac, and go to this, find the images. On Mac, I believe you just double click and it automatically unzips it. On Windows, you right click on it and go to Extract All, and then click Extract. That extracts all of the images needed for this tutorial. So I'm just going to close this and then close this other window because we don't need that. So we're back here. So let me close this again. So we're in the settings for the site origin hero widget, and we need to add the hero image. So to do that, click this choose media and then click select files, and then click on this images, and then with your mouse just highlight all of them, right? Because we want to upload all of these images, and then click open. And that will upload all of your images. It might take a bit. So while that's uploading, I'm going to show you, I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to show you some websites that have free images, very beautiful images for free. So one is Unsplash. Search for Unsplash. This is one site that has really, really nice images, and they're all free. That's where I got all the images for the image pack, were from this site. So as you can see, they're all just really, really beautiful. A lot of these photographers are professionals or amateurs that are almost professional. Very, very nice images, and they're all free. So that's one site that has really nice. I really like this site because pretty much all the images are just really high quality. Another site that has a huge library is Pixabay. This one has a huge library, but since it has so many images, the quality is not as high. I mean, they do have a lot of great images, but it's a little more work to find the images because there's so many. So you get lots of nice images. And then another one is a Stock Snap. It's kind of hard to say. Stock Snap IO. And it's another one, has a lot of really nice images, and a lot of these sites have the same images. A lot of them, I think, get some of their images from Unsplash because they have a lot of the best ones. So this is another site with a lot of great images. One last resource for free images is called Pexels. It's another great site with a lot of really beautiful images. I'll include these links in the YouTube description to make it really easy to find these. If you scroll through, you can see there's a lot of really professional, high definition images. A lot of different things, landscapes, people. So yeah, so those are all the free image resources that I know of. I'm going to close that. And so now they've all been uploaded. So for the demonstration, the first hero image is this one here, hero1.jpg. So just click on that. You'll see it has this check mark. And then click Set Media. So now you can see a little thumbnail, it's there. And then the other thing you want to change is set this opacity to 80. And what this background image opacity, what that does is it gives the image some transparency. So if you put this at 0, if you drag it all the way here, you wouldn't even see the image. It'd just be, because you could see completely through the image. 100% is you can see no transparency. So 80 has a little bit of transparency. And then the background color is black, so what you see is a little bit of black coming through the image. So this is good to have sometimes if you have an image that so you put some white text on it, you can't see the text very well because the image is very light. If you set this with the dark background, and you set this lower, you can see the text a little better. So that's one reason I set it to 80, just to be able to read the text a little better. Okay, so now you scroll down, you can also add videos, background videos, and that's another topic I can go into at a later date. There's a lot of options you can do with this plugin. So scroll down, keep scrolling down until you get to this design and layout. Here, this is where, see this top and bottom padding? You want to set that to 300. Actually, I'll just leave it at 50 I want to show you what this does. So it's 50 right now. So just click done. Click update. Okay. And then click this live editor. This live editor is a really nice feature. You can see the changes you make as you make them. So as you can see, there's a little bit of space. That's what it was 50 px, 50 pixels. If you're not familiar with pixels, what pixels are is just it's a unit of measurement. So I'm not sure exactly what my resolution is of this monitor, but say it's 1000 by 500. 1000 wide by 500 in height. Those are 1000 pixels by 500 pixels high. So the 50 pixels is just taking up, part of your screen. Just 50 pixels, if that makes any sense. So let me give you a little example. So click on this site origin hero again, and scroll back down and set this now to 300, and then click done. And then it's going to update. Now you'll see it's taking up a lot more space. It's 300 pixels and 300 pixels. So it's taking up about 600 because 300 top, so 600. So yeah, so 600 pixels, and say my screen is 600 pixels high, so it's taking up the whole space, if that makes sense. So now we got that. You can also click on in here, click on that, it also opens the settings. So the other thing we want to change is this heading font. So click on this and just on your keyboard hit SAN, SAN. We're looking for Sansita1. So if you hit SAN, it helps you go search for that. So click on Sansita1 and then change this heading size to 50. And that will make the font larger. And also change this heading shadow intensity to 100. That will give the text more shadow. Gives it a nice little effect and makes it a little easier to read. So now that's what it looks like. If you'll notice, we have this home and then the space on the side. So just click done and then click update to save your progress. So there was that space on the sides, and then also the title is showing, which looked kind of funny. So to fix that, click on this full width and then hide title, and then click update. Now, if you click view page, this is what our web page looks like right now. So it's looking better. So now there's no space on the sides. It's full width. And the title of the page, it said home, that's now gone. Okay, so now click edit page. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to add another, so I'm going to close this. We don't need this anymore. Don't really need this or this. So I'm going to go back to the demo. So we have this first hero image. Now the second section is the about section. So go back to WordPress. Now we need another row. So click this add row. And we just need one column. And click insert. Now, excuse me, go back and click edit row. And then on this right side where it says row styles in attributes, click that to open that up. And then for row ID, put in about. This might not make a lot of sense right now. I'll show you later. But this will be used for the scrolling part. When you click the header menu at the top, when you click one of those and it scrolls to the section, having this ID, you need that or that won't work. So put about for the row ID. And then keep scrolling down and then open up this layout. Open that up. And then put in 15. So this is top, right, left, bottom, padding. So it's like the space we added for the first hero image. This is the same thing. It's just a little bit of space to give it some separation. So add 15 for the left, top, and right, and then 30 for the bottom. Okay, and then click done. Then now, click on this. You'll see how it highlighted a little bit. So if I click over here, it highlights that one. But you click on this, you highlight that. So then it'll add, then click add widget, it adds it to that row. So now, click add widget. And now what we're going to do is add the headline widget. So click that. Now click this to edit the headline widget. So the headline is going to be all caps, about. And then change the font to Sans Serif. See, scroll down, Sans Serif 1. And then scroll down to divider. And click, change the style to none. We don't want a divider. Click done. Then update it. I like to update a lot just to save the work. So actually, let's go back to the live editor. So click this live editor. And then so we can see our work. So now you see this about section. So click here again to highlight it, and then click this plus, that's add widget. Click that, and then search for editor. Oh shoot, cap lock. Click on, so search for editor. See editor now. Click on that. Now that add an editor widget. So there's no text right now, but click this editor. And so here you would put, about you or your business or your service. I just have some text that I'm just gonna copy and paste in there, and I'll have this on in the description of the YouTube video if you want to use it. So if you're not sure what this is, it's called lorem ipsum text, which is basically just dummy text. So if you want to generate your own lorem ipsum, just go to lorem ipsum generator, and this first one that comes up, lipsum.com, has some information about what it is. But if you go here on the bottom, click generate lorem ipsum, you can generate some text. And it's something that web designers use a lot, to just fill in some text and make the site to look normal. So just add that text or whatever you want, and click done. So now we have the text. So it's looking better. So now we got the about section. So we're down here, we got the about. Now we're gonna add this second hero image. So we're gonna need another row. So this right here looks like kind of like a book. That is the row. So click on that to add another row. And then once again, just one column. Click insert. See, so it didn't insert it into the correct location, but these up and down arrows right here, if you hover over, you get this crosshair. Click on that and hold down your mouse and then drag it to the bottom, because we want it on the bottom. And then now click here to highlight it. Now click this plus, because we need to add another widget. And now we need the hero widget. So just search for hero, click hero to add in the hero widget. And so we already added one of these ones, so it's basically the same. So click on Center on Hero to edit it. So we're going to need to add a frame. So click Add Frame, and then click here to expand it. And then this time the text, I'm going to go to my notes. The text is right here. It's a quote by Edgar Degas. Not really sure who that is, but it's a nice quote I found on the internet. So for the first, so I'm gonna hit enter here to add a little space. So for this, I'm gonna highlight it, and I'm gonna make this a heading 2. And then I'm gonna center it, here, align center. And then this, I'm just gonna leave the paragraph. And then also center that. So we got that. And then we're going to click this choose media to select another hero image. And once the media library loads up, we want to select this image, which is hero 2, and then click set media. So we have that, and now so I'm not going to change the image opacity. That one looked pretty good with 100 as the image opacity. And then scroll down. Next we need to do is change the padding. So for this one, I'm going to set it to 100. And then we need to change the font as well. So search for sans, select sans Theta 1. And then I'm just going to leave the font as 38. And just leave everything else the defaults and click done. Scroll down. And now we see we have a nice beautiful hero image, which we had over here. So the next section is our services. So go back to the page. And again, click this add row and add a 1 column row, and we need to drag it to the bottom, and then click, if you hover over the wrench, you'll see this edit row. Select that, because we need to add, we need to add the row ID. So expand this attributes by clicking on it, and then add the row ID services, and scroll down, and then again we're going to add this padding, 15 left, 15 top, and 15 right, and then 30 on the bottom. That's just to add some, give it some spacing, makes it look a little nicer, a little cleaner. And then click done. So for example, we added the padding on this row for the bow, and has a little bit of padding here, and a little padding on the bottom and on the sides. This looks cleaner than if it was closer together. It wouldn't look as nice. So click on the row we just added, and then click the plus to add another widget. And then search for headline widget. Click that. And then click on origin headline. And then for the text, we're going to put in all caps our services. And then we're going to change the font again to sans Theta 1. And then scroll down to the divider and click none for style. And then just leave everything else the same and just click done. Then you scroll to the bottom. See, we have our services. And now just click on the blue part. I just want to make sure it's highlighted so that when we click add widget, it'll add it to that row. So click add widget, and this time search for features, and you'll see features. So click on this features widget. Okay, so now click on features to edit that. And we'll need to click add. And see, we have a feature that was added. So if you click on in here, that expands it. And we'll need to add 3 features. So let's see, probably the best way to do that is to add 1 feature with the colors you want, and then there's this duplicate where you can duplicate it. So I'm gonna go back to my notes and get the color. This is the color. So click on this container color, click that, set it to this. So this is what's called a hex code. And it's just, every color has a code like this. So if you drag this around here, you can see this hex code changes. So every color has a hex code, and you can find nice colors on the internet. So for this, I'm just going to use this hex code. And if you're wondering how I found that, how I came up with this hex code, what I did was let's go on Google and search for get color from image. And yes, this website, which I'll put this link in the description. If you go here and select choose file, and then I don't know, select any image, whatever. Takes a while for it to, oh, excuse me, click this show image, then it shows it. So now you can click around here, and so that's what I did was I used one of the images and I found a color that was in one of the images, kind of like that, and then I just used it so then the images and the colors I used in the web page kind of matched. So that's how I got that color. So set the container color to that, and then scroll down. Let's see, where is it? Font. Okay, scroll down and set this container size to 150, and then the icon size to 75. So this container size, what that means is that's this circle, the purple circle. And the icon size, that's this. So once again, this pixels comes up again. It's like I explained, it's relative to your screen size. So this is 150. So this is 150 pixels relative to your screen. So it will vary based on the size of the monitor. If you have a really big monitor, it'll be smaller. It's all relative. So if you have a phone, it's a smaller screen, maybe like 300 pixels. So this would take up half of the screen. So, but since this is a wider screen, it doesn't take up as much space. So set those 150 for container, 75 for icon, and then we need to change the font. So expand this font. Expand the font, the title. Set this to sans serif. Okay, so now we got that. So now that we got those, oh, wait, I didn't add. Okay, so I'm just gonna, now that we have that set, I'm just going to, actually one more thing, excuse me, I'm trying to save some, not having to duplicate work. So copy this, well, I will have this dummy text, just the lorem ipsum, just a shorter version. I'll have this in the description so you can just copy it. But let's see, so go to text and put that in text, okay? So now just click this this button here, which looks like two pieces of paper. Click that twice, and that will duplicate it. So now we don't have to keep typing the same thing over and over. So now I'm going to call this one support. Close that one, open the second one, call this one design. I'm going to close that, open the third one, change it to performance, and then click done. Scroll down, and you'll see we have nothing. Because I forgot to add the icons. So click that, open that, and okay, so click on this icon. Forgot one key step. So here you have the icon. So it's really cool. There's tons of icons. So there's Font Awesome. These are all different free icons. You got Font Awesome. It's got 674 different icons. You got this Ion icons. It's got 733. So there's a bunch of icons. So you can just browse through these. Just find something you like. This one's performance. So this is Font Awesome. I'm gonna use I like some of their fonts. Just kind of look through it. I think I used the sports car for this one. So let's see if I can find something related to performance. Oh, maybe this clock. That looked kind of cool, I think. It's related to performance, how fast it is. And then for support, I'll open that up. I'm going to change it to icons. And then let's see, what can we find related to support? Support, this @ sign. Yeah, contacting someone on their email or something. And then design. So click icon. I want to change this to icons. And then let's see, what could I do for design? I'll just do this canvas. Yeah, that looks good. Then click done. Now we should see, there we go. Now we have our icons. So that's looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna save because I don't want to lose the work. So just click done and then click update just to be safe. I like to save pretty often. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Live Editor. So this is what we have so far. Looks looking pretty good. About section, our services. So we go back to the demo site. The next section is another hero image. So go back to the edit page and then click this add row again. And again, we're just going to add one column. So add one column and then drag it down to the bottom. Okay. And then go back to the top, click this plus to add a widget. And so it's going to be another hero widget. So search for hero and then click site origin hero. Okay. So now we have another hero. So click on site origin hero to open the options to edit it. So again, we need to click this add to add a frame, and then click in here to add a frame. And then go back to my notes and get the second one. Paste that in there, and once again I'll have this in the description so you can just copy this text if you want to. And then I'm gonna highlight it and make it a heading 2, and then set it to center. And then for this, oh, we got capital. I'm going to just center that. Actually, excuse me. I got the wrong one. Should move this. Not a huge deal, but this text that I chose was related to, since the team section is the next section, I tried to find a quote that was related to teams. So set this, somehow this, I pasted it in this, so you can just highlight it and set it to paragraph. I think what it is, I need to put a break in there. So now I can set it to heading 2. Okay, so now we have the right quote in there. So if you scroll down, let's see, scroll down to background section. Click Choose Media, then select hero3.jpg, which is this one right here. See, it's hero3.jpg. Then click Set Media. Then for background image opacity, set this to 60. The reason we want to set this to 60 is this will make it more transparent, which will let more of the background in, which is a dark color. The image is a little too light, so if we let some of the dark background in, you can see the text a little better. Then scroll down to design and layout, and then for top and bottom padding, set that to 100. And then for heading font, set that to Sans Serif 1 again. And then click Done. The live preview will update. If you scroll down, you'll see we have the new hero image. So now, if you go back to the demo site, you'll see we just added this hero image. The next section is our team. So next we'll add that. So go back to the WordPress and add a new row. So click here to add a row, and then set it as one column, and then click Insert. Now drag it, click the up and down arrow and drag it down to the bottom. Then click this wrench and click Edit Row. On the right side under Row Styles, click Attributes. And then for Row ID, set that to Team. Scroll down to Layout and set padding top to 15. Click Done. Now click the row and then scroll to the top and click the plus to add a new widget. Then search for headline and select the site origin headline widget. Then click the site origin headline widget to edit. And for text, set that to all caps, our team. Change the font to Sans Serif 1. Scroll down to divider. Change style to none. then click Done. So if you scroll down, see the preview, we have the headline. So now we need to add another row. So click the Add Row. This time, instead of one column, we're going to actually do 3 columns. So if you go back to the demonstration, you'll see we have 3 columns. We have, one here, and one here. So if you go back, so you set it to 3 columns, and then click Insert. Once again, click here and drag all the way to the bottom. Sometimes you have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Just keep dragging it till it's at the bottom. Then click this edit. Oh shoot, still at the bottom. One more. So now it's at the bottom. So now click the wrench, or hover over the wrench and select Edit Row. And then expand the layout. Set left padding to 15, right padding to 15, and bottom padding to 30. Then click Done. Now click this first column, scroll up to the top, click the plus to add a widget. Now search for person and select this inked person. So now click the inked person widget to edit. Set the name to Liz Smith or whatever your employee's name is. And then expand this person section, click the Choose Image button, and then select this image, Team 1. But we need to crop the image. So if you click on this Edit Image here on the right, we can crop the image so we can just get the face of the person. So one thing really nice about WordPress is it has really good image editing functionality. So if you just, with your mouse, click and drag, we can create a little box. So over here you'll see this is the pixels we have selected. We want to make this a box, or square. So we want this to be the same height and width. So just set that to, not be exact, set that so it's a box. And then to have that, click this right here. This is the crop button. So if we click this, it's gonna recreate the image with this box we have. So click this to crop it. So now that is what the image is going to look like. Then click Save. It hasn't actually saved it yet. This is just a preview. So click Save. So now this is what our image looks like. So click Edit Image now again. So next thing I want to do is I want to make the image a little smaller, because right now it's 527 kilobytes, which might not make a lot of sense, but when it comes to web pages, you want your images to be as small as possible, because if they are the larger they are, the slower your website will load for your users. And so if you have a bunch of images, your web page will take a long time to load. So that can be irritating for users. Also, it's a factor for Google. If your site is very slow, Google will not rank your site as high in the search results as if it loads fast. So what I like to do is I like to set this as small as possible. So I'm going to set it to 500 by 500 and click scale. This is going to make the image a little smaller. So we set that, and then so now it still says this, it hasn't updated. So click update to update it. So now it's 500 by 500 pixels, and you'll see it went down to 33 kilobytes. Before it was more than 500. So that's a big difference in size. Okay, so now we have that. Now we've resized the image, so let's go back, and that changed. The image hasn't updated here, but in actuality it's updated. So just click set image. Next we need to set the designation, which is the title of the employee. So we're going to set this to founder. And then for the about text, I'm just going to use, go to my notes and select this lorem ipsum text. And I'll have this in the description of the YouTube video. And I'm just going to right click and paste. Set that in there. And then next, expand this styling section. In here, we want to change image corners to circle. And this will make it so, as in the demo, it's a circle. There's different options. You can have a sharp, it be a square, or slightly curved or highly curved. I like the way a circle looks, so I'm going to set it to a circle. And then one last thing that's a little advanced, but show you how to do that. So on the right side here, it says attributes, expand that. And then in the CSS styles, add max width 200 px, and then margin 0 auto. So what this is doing is we have this max width. This will set the image so it's never larger than 200 pixels. The reason we need that is because if we don't have that, the image is really, really big and it doesn't look as nice. So I set it to a max width of 200 pixels, so it's a little smaller and it looks a lot nicer. And then this margin 0 auto, what that does is it centers the image. So it might not make a lot of sense right now, but I'll show you. Let me just show you. So I'm just gonna copy these right now and save this, and then I'm gonna save it so we can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like now, which it looks okay. So I'm gonna go out because I'm gonna say done and then update. I want to preview it as a full screen so we can see how it would look like on a normal computer screen. So I'm just going to click this view page, and if you scroll down, you'll see it's pretty large, and it looks okay, but if you set the max width to 200 pixels, it looks better in my opinion. So just click edit page, and when there's 3 images, you'll see what I mean. Right now you can't tell as much, so go back here and click this to edit, and then go back here to attributes, and then CSS styles. I'm gonna paste this back in there, and then I'm gonna click done and update. And then I'm gonna go back and view page, so we can try to see. Hopefully you can see the difference. So okay, so now yeah, you can see the difference. It's a little bit smaller. In my opinion, it looks better. So let's go back to edit page. I'm gonna close this tab. I don't need that anymore. And then go back to live editor. And then scroll down on the left side and just gonna click here to edit again. And then I'm just gonna duplicate it. So because some of the stuff we entered is just exactly the same. So I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna drag it here, and then I'm gonna click here, click this one, and I'm gonna duplicate. So sorry if I did it too fast. So if you click on here, at the bottom there's a duplicate. So click that duplicate. Then drag this, click and drag to the third column. So now the second column, click the second widget. So for this one, the name is Jim Brown, or whatever name you want to call it. And then I'm going to click this choose image. And then we're going to do the same thing. So for this one, select this image, it's Team 2. Click edit image again. And then in the image, just click and drag. And you'll get a little square. And then over here where it says selection, we want this to be the same with the width and height. So just 2170 and then 2170. So now it's the same, so it's a square. So just kind of center it, and then click this, which is crop. So click that, and it'll crop it. So now it's cropped. And then we can do is we can set this to 500. Shoot, we can do it. I guess we need to save first. So click save. Okay. So now again we need to edit so we can scale the image down so it's smaller. So now change this, the new dimensions to 500 by 500. Click scale. So previously it was 2 megabytes. So we need to click update so that it'll refresh this. So it's 2 megabytes. Yeah, now it's 20 kilobytes. So it's a lot smaller. Okay, so now just close this tab. And then we have the image selected. Just click Set Media. And then the designation for this one is Web Designer. And then the same about text. And then everything else is the same. One other thing I'd like to mention is there's a social section where you can add profiles. So for example, you could have Facebook or Twitter, but I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. Probably do that at a later date. So if you want though, you can do that. So click, so now in layout, or actually excuse me, attributes, it has the CSS style, max width 200px, margin 0 auto. So that, like the first image, it'll make sure it's not more than 200 pixels and then it's centered. So we have that. So click done. Scroll down. So we have our second team member. So now for the third team member, click on it to edit, and then edit the name to whatever you like, whatever your employees in the demonstration. It's Michelle Bryant. It's just a random name I came up with. And then click choose image. And then click this person, which is team 3. And then once again, click edit image. And then click in the image to create a little box. And then kind of reposition this. You just click and drag to reposition. I'm gonna go a little bigger. Kind of center it. And then let's set this to 2000 by 2000. And it's kind of reposition. And then up here, click crop. And then save. Then once that loads, click edit image so we can scale it down again. And then renew dimensions, set it 500 by 500 and click scale. And then click update on the right side and see we got it down to 34 kilobytes, which is pretty dang small. So now just close this tab, and then so we have the image selected, and just click set media. Okay, and then the designation for this person is web developer, and that should be good since we duplicated this person. Just click done. And then scroll down, you'll see we have our 3 people. So now I'm just going to click done and just do update just to save our work. And then click the live editor. So you scroll through, this is what we have so far, looking pretty good. So now if we go back to the demo and we scroll down, you'll see we have another hero image we need to add. So go back to edit page, and then I'm going to click in here. I think if we click in there and then click this add row, I'm hoping it's going to add it to the bottom. So just add a 1 column row. Click insert. Okay, cool, so it did. So yeah, I guess you just need to select the last row before you add a row. So now, just click the wrench, or hover over the wrench and click edit row. And then, excuse me, close this. Actually, just click in the row. And then scroll to the top and click the plus to add a widget. Then search for hero, select the site origin hero widget, and on the left side scroll down and then click to edit, and then we need to add a frame. Click in here to edit the frame, and then so I'm going to go to my notes, copy the text. So now we get this third quote, so I'm going to copy that, and I'll have that in the description on the YouTube video. And then just right click and right click. Oh, that's weird. We'll just, I guess, hold Control and hit V to paste it in. Command V for Max. And then put a little space in there, and then highlight this first. Highlight the quote and click this paragraph and set it to heading 2. And then I'm just going to highlight the whole thing and just center it. Okay. So now we have that center. So scroll down to background and then click choose media. And then select Hero 4, which I believe is this one. Yeah, hero4.jpg. And then click set media. Then for background image opacity, set this to 70. And once again, this will just let the background through, which is a darker color, so it makes the image a little darker, so you can see the text over the image a little better. and then scroll down and set the top and bottom padding to 100, and then set the font to Sans Serif 1 again, and then click Done. So we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see our image. So now if we go back to the demo, we just added this hero image, and now we have the artwork section that we need to add. So go back to WordPress and then click the last row, and then scroll to the top and click the button to add a row, and then just add one column. Scroll down, then hover over the wrench, click edit row, then on the right side click attributes, and then for row ID set that to work. Scroll down to layout, set the left, top, and right margin to 15. So once again, that just adds some spacing, makes it look a little cleaner. And then the bottom, set that to 30. And then click Done. Then click the row, and then scroll to the top, and then click Add Widget, search for Headline, and then click Site Origin Headline to add that widget. Then click Site Origin Headline to edit, and then in text, set that to artwork, all caps. For font, set that to Sans Serif 1 again. Scroll down to divider, click that to expand, and then set the style to none. And then click Done. So scroll down the right side, and you'll see we have the artwork. So if you go back to the demo, you'll see we have these 5 examples of work, which could be a portfolio of some jobs you did, or this could be a blog too. So we need to add these 5 examples of our work. So if you go back to edit page, just click Done, and let's just save our work. Then on the left side, where it says under Pages, select Add New, and then for the title, let's call it Work 1, and then on the scroll down to the right side on the bottom, you see this featured image. Click Set Featured Image, and then here select the image called Work 1. So let's see, Work 1. Okay, we have work1.jpg, and let's click Set Featured Image, and then click Publish. Now we need to create a new page. So one way is to on the left side under Pages, click Add New. Also up here, if you hover over this New and click Page, that's another way you can do it. Same thing, just different way. So this one is called Work 2, and then scroll down the right side, set featured image, and then select Work 2, work2.jpg, click Set Featured Image, then click Publish. Then go to new page again, and do work 3. So we're going to do this 5 times. So scroll down to the bottom, click set featured image, select work 3, click set featured image, scroll to the top, click publish, new again, page, work 4, scroll down, set featured image, work4.jpg, click set featured image, scroll to the top, click publish. Oh, here's another way. There's many ways to do things in WordPress. So here, click add new to the right of edit page. And then work 5, scroll down, click set featured image, and then work 5.jpg, set featured image, and then click publish. Okay, so now we have those. So click on this, click on pages on the left menu, and now you'll see our 5 work pages. So click on home. We're going to go back and add the, you go back to the administration, and we're going to add this carousel, this showing our work. So go back to edit page, and then click the live editor. And then on the left side, scroll down. And then we need to add, so click on the row, the last row, scroll to the top, and click this plus to add a widget. And then search for post carousel. So click on site origin post carousel. Left side, scroll down again, and then click on the site origin post carousel to edit. And then where it says build post query, click on that. And then where it says select posts, click on that. And then here, if you search for work 1. Excuse me. Close this. Click build post query again. Change this to pages. Now click select posts. So I guess before I had posts selected, that's why it wasn't searching. So now it has pages. So it's going to search for pages. So just go through, and we need to add all of these pages. So work 1, keep searching for work. Work 2, search for work. Work 3, search for work. Work 4, and then search for work again, and then select work 5. And then finish, click finish selection. So now if we just save the query and then click done, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see our work is there. So now go back to the demo, and the final section is the contact us section with the Google map, and on the right side our address and phone number and email, and then a little blurb about how to contact us. So go back to WordPress to edit page, and then click the last row, highlight it, and then click add row. And then this time we're going to have 2 columns, but the left side, the left column is going to be 60, so it'll be 60, 40. So set this to 60 and 40, and then click insert. Then hover over the wrench and click edit row. the right side, expand attributes, set row ID to contact, scroll down to design, and then we're going to set this background color because it's a purplish color. So I'm going to go to my notes and I'll have this color in the description. Copy that. I'm just going to click this select color and just paste, right click, and paste that in there. And you'll see it's that purple color. And then just click done. So now we need to add the Google Maps. So click the left column to highlight it. Scroll to the top and click the plus. Then search for Google and select the site origin Google Maps widget. So on the left side, scroll down and then click site origin Google Maps. And then for the map center, that will be your address. I'm just going to put Chico, California, my hometown. And then scroll down. I'm going to remove this scroll to zoom because that can be a little annoying. Sometimes if you're scrolling down, it'll automatically start zooming. So it's a little, especially on a mobile device, it can get a little annoying. And then scroll down and expand styles. Set map styles to predefined style. Then I'm going to go to my notes and copy this code, which this code, paste that in there. If you go back to the demo, this code changes the default style of the Google Map. Usually the Google Map kind of has a whitish background, so this one has a black one, which makes it really nice with this web page. So if we go back, I pasted that in there. Now I'm just click done and scroll down and it's not showing. So the reason it's not showing is you need what's known as an API key. Before you didn't need an API key, but recently Google changed the requirements, so you need an API key. So if you open a new tab and go to Google Maps API key, and then click this get a key slash authentication. Click on that, and I'll provide a link in the YouTube description. And then click standard API keys for the standard API. Click on that, and then click this button, get a key. Okay, so we need to create a project for this. So just click continue. And if it's the first time you've been through to this page, it will probably ask you to agree to their terms of service. So just agree to the terms of service and click continue. And then once that loads, okay, I'm just going to use the default browser key one and then click create. Okay, so now this is our API key. So click this to copy. So that's copied to the clipboard. Now I'll go back to WordPress to edit the page and then click the site origin Google Maps widget. And so right here where it says API key, just right click and paste the API key that we just copied and click done. So now hopefully the Google map will show up. So scroll down. Okay, so now we see it. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add the right column section. So click in the right column, scroll up and click the plus to add a widget, and then search for headline, and then select the site origin headline widget. Scroll down the left side, click the site origin headline, and then for text, enter contact us. Actually, this would probably just be in all caps like the rest of the headlines. So enter contact us, and then for the font, set that to sans Theta 1, and then for the color, set this to white here, was down here, and then scroll down to divider. For style, change that to none, and then click done. Okay, then click the right column again, and we're going to add another widget. So scroll to the top, click add widget, and search for editor. Oops. And then select the site origin editor widget, and scroll down on the left side, click here to edit the site origin editor, and then go back to my notes, go back to my notes, and then I'm going to copy this lorem ipsum text, and then go back and paste that in here. Then just enter in your address, and then also what we need to select all the text, and we need to change the color to white, and then click done. Well, that looks pretty good. You'll notice the text is a little too close to the sides, so also up here it's a little close. So if we go back to click on the editor and go to on the right side of the layout, set the left padding to 15 and then the right padding to 15. Click done. And scroll down. You'll see it looks a little better, more spacing. And this is a little too close, the heading. So click on this site origin headline, and then click layout, and then add 15 pixels of padding to the top of that. And scroll down. So that looks a little better, has more spacing at the top. So that's pretty much all the sections now. So I'm going to click done, then click update. I'm going to close these tabs since we don't need those anymore, and then click view page. And then this is what we have. So got our about section, our services, and our team, our work, and then contact us. So if we go back to the demo, we have pretty much everything except we are missing the logo and the top menu, and then the footer is missing the social media icons and our copyright on the bottom left. So if you go back to WordPress and then click on edit page, so one thing we need to do first is, I'm not sure if you noticed, but we have this permalink. So this is our home page. It doesn't look that great because it has this index.php/home, which doesn't look that nice. So we can fix that. So it'll just be amazingwebsitenow.com. There won't be this index.php/home when you go to the home page. So on the left side, go to settings and then permalinks. Then here, click this post name. This will set the post to look like this. So it looks a lot nicer in my opinion. So it's good for SEO. So click Save Changes. So now if you go back to Pages and then click on Home, you'll see it's just slash home. There's not the index.php. And then if you click on this, see, now it has slash home. So it looks a little nicer. So one other thing we need to do is we need to set up our menu on the top. So you can click this here, add a menu. That will take you here. You can also get to this place by going on the left side or appearance and clicking the menus. So what we're gonna do is we need to, by default it adds all your pages, so we don't need that. So we need to just click this down arrow and then click remove. I'm gonna keep home. Actually, no, delete that too. So just delete all of these pages. So go through each one, click the down arrow, and click remove. Then on the left side here, click this custom links, and for each one we are going to be adding like this. So / hashtag and then about. So I don't know if you remember, but we added those row IDs where we had one for about, one for, so let me go back to the demo. We had one row ID for about, one row ID for services, one row ID for team, and one for work. So go back to WordPress and then just do / hashtag about, and then the text will be just about, and then click add to menu. And then we'll do the same thing, services for link text, and add to menu. And then / hashtag team, and then team. Add to menu. And then the same thing, contact contact, and then add to menu. Okay, so now we have that. So then click create menu, and then check this box, and that will add the menu to the header. Click save menu. So now just click on here, the name of your website, to view it. Now you'll see we have our header menu. And you'll see it looks a little weird because we have this is a default blog post that comes with WordPress. So so usually if you go up here and click /home, this is the page we have been creating. We need to set WordPress so that it uses this page as our home page instead of this, which is the standard blog homepage. So to do that, next up here where it says customize, click on that. And then this will load up what's called the WordPress customizer, which has a lot of options where you can customize different things. So like, for example, this general options, colors, you can change the background color. So say you want to change your background color to purple, which you probably wouldn't want to do, or blue or whatever. You can do that here. I'm just going to clear that. You change button colors, different colors. If you go back, you can add a background image. We want to change the static front page. So click on the static front page, and then we want to set the home page that we created to a static. So click on a static page, and then front page, set that to home, and that will make the page, the home page we created, it'll make our home page. So click this to go back, and then click again to go back to the main menu. So some other things you can change, so you'll see if you click on this header options, is we wanna set our header to transparent so that you can see the image through the header. So in header options, if you go to header style, click on that. This header opacity, right now it's set to all the way to the right is 100%. So it's a white background, so you can see the header fully. So if you click and drag this all the way to the left, it's going to make it 100% transparent, so you can see through it. So now you can see through the header. Also, this sticky header, that will make it so the header always stays at the top. So right now it's not a sticky header, so if you scroll, the header goes with it. So if you click this sticky header and wait for it to load, now if you scroll, you'll see the header stays at the top of the screen always. So if you go back, so we got those added. Now we need to change some colors, because right now the text, you can't really see it because it's a grayish color, and the background's kind of grayish, so you can't really see it. So we need to change that to a white color. So to do that, go back to the main menu. You'll see this typography. Typography, that is added by the Easy Google Fonts, which I mentioned briefly in the beginning, which is one of the recommended plugins that adds the Google Fonts. So if you click on that, and then go to Theme Typography, in here you can modify some of the different fonts. There's different ones, you'll see button hover text. You can modify your footer links, header links. We want to modify the header link. So we want to change that to white. So right here, if you click edit font, and then also we want to change the font to sans serif. So under font family, click this default or theme default and search for sans serif 1. And then click that. And I don't know if you can see it, but it changed it to sans serif. And then also we're going to change this color to, we're going to change this to black, because this is the color we want when it's a white background. We're also going to change, when it's transparent, we're going to change it to white, which I'll show you next. And then also we want to make the font a little larger, make it a little easier to read. So set that to 16. And then go to header link active, click edit font, and then click appearance, and then select font color, and then we're going to change this, we go to my notes, change the same purple color we've been using, change that to that purple. So now, okay, you can't see it yet, I guess. Let me see. Okay, I guess that's not updated yet, but I'll show you that a little later. Oh, excuse me, that's the active color. So that's that when you are hovering over a page, it highlights it. So I'll show you that later. So on the left side, scroll down to header link hover. Click edit font, and we want to change this, click appearance. We also want to change the font to the purple. So now you can see it when you hover, it's purple. Okay, keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down to transparent header link, and then click edit font, and then click appearance, and then click font color, select color, set this to white. Okay, so now it's white when it's transparent, but when you scroll down, it turns white, the header turns white, the text turns black, so you can see it better. And then scroll down to transparent. Oh yeah, transparent hover. So click transparent header link hover, click edit font, and then appearance, and then click select font color and set that to the purple. So now that also is purple. Okay. And then also we need to change the mobile. So if you click on this mobile and then click this, you'll see the mobile menu. And right now it's gray. It's with a black background, and we want to change those in the font. So click the X to close. Right now, also this menu button is white. Or I mean, it's gray, and we want that to be white. It'll be a little easier to read. But first, let's edit this mobile menu link. Edit font, and then select. Go to font family and select theme default, and set that to sans serif 1, and then click appearance and set that to white. So now if we open this, you'll see it's white with the Sans Serif 1 font. Okay, so now I want to change this mobile menu button to white. So scroll to the top and click back to go back, and then click the back arrow again, and then go to header options. Click here, and then where it says header colors, click on that, and then scroll down. Change this mobile menu button color. We want to change that to so for the mobile menu transparent button color, which is right now it's transparent, we want that to be white. So oops, what happened? We want that to be white for some reason. Okay, let's save and publish. Sometimes this preview doesn't work so well. So let's see. Okay, let's also change the mobile menu button color to change that to black. Okay. Okay, so I think we got most of everything for the header menu. So let's save and publish. And then click the X to close. So now this is what it looks like. You got, when you hover over, it's purple, white font, white colored font when it's transparent, and then when you scroll down, it turns black. And then if we view, I'm going to right click. I'm in Chrome browser, which I highly recommend. If you right click and then click inspect, and then you see this kind of looks like a device, like an iPad or something. Click on that, and then you can set this to an iPhone, and you'll see it has the white mobile button. Click that, and then you'll see it has this white text at the top. But we're logged in right now. You won't see that once for regular users that aren't logged into WordPress. So yeah, we have the white mobile menu text and the Sans Serif font. So I'm going to close that. And so now you'll see we just have this amazing website now. There's no logo. So now we need to add a logo. So if you open a new tab and go to flaticons.net, this is a really cool site that has some really nice icons that you can use for logos. You can also get logos on Fiverr. You can get logos for really cheap. They have logos as cheap as $5. So if you just go here and search for logo, it's gotta kind of search through and find a freelancer that has a nice portfolio of logos. There's also 99 Designs, which is more expensive, but you can get a really nice logo. So if you go here, it's quite a bit more expensive, so yeah, you're going to pay at least $300. Where Fiverr, you pay a minimum of $5. Usually it's more because there's some other options you'll want, and you'll spend by $25 or so. But if you want a free logo, you just go to this flat icon maker, and you can just search through the icons, find something that kind of represents your website. I'm in this example, I just searched for, I think it was a spaceship. So I just search for ship, and I select this one. And it makes it a little larger. And then scroll down, click download. Oh, yeah, and this also has, you'll see FFF. It's which is white. It has just white color, and then we're also going to make a black one. So, for example, if you go back to the site, or actually, excuse me, go to the demo, you'll see right now it's black. So, but when it's transparent, it's white. So we need 2 logos for that. So, go back, click download. I'm going to call this logo white, and just save it to the desktop. And then we also need a black one. So just click in this icon color and then scroll all the way down till you get 0, 0, and so it's black. And click download PNG, and then go logo black. Save it. So now we have the 2 logos. So go back to WordPress, and then I'm going to close this to get out of this, and then click customize at the top. And then once that loads, click scroll to, or actually select header options, and then click header logo. And then, so we have logo and we have transparent header logo. So for the transparent one, we want that to be white, and then the regular logo we want black. So click select image, and then click upload files, click select files, and then select the 2 logos we just saved. If you you can just select both. You can hold down your mouse and just highlight both of them, and then click open. So we want the black one for the regular logo when it's not transparent. Select it and click choose image. And then, so right now you'll see it has the black one because we don't have the transparent yet. So click the logo, transparent header, click select image, and then click the white one and click choose image. So now you'll see we have our black logo and our white one. So the last thing we need to do, so if we go back to the demo site, actually, excuse me, go back and just click and save and publish just to be safe. So I got that saved. So go back to the demo, and then if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see we have on the bottom left copyright, and then on the bottom right we have the social icons. So I'm just going to click close this tab and then go back to WordPress, and then you scroll down. You'll see right now we have theme by Upward, which is just the default, but you can change that. So what we need to do is on the left side, just scroll to the top, click this back, and then click back again. And then on the bottom, see where it says widgets, click that. And then we want to edit this footer bottom right. So that's this bottom right section down here. So click that, and then click add a widget. Scroll down and select site origin social media buttons. So in here, we want to add any social networks you're a part of. we're going to add the 4 major ones. So click Add, select Facebook, and then this would be, you would enter whatever your Facebook URL is to your Facebook page. And then for the background color, you can either use the color of the social network, or you can change that. I think in the demo, if I go back to the demo, I set them to a kind of a grayish color. So actually for the background color, just you want to clear that. And then for the icon color, I'm just gonna make this grayish. I'm just gonna copy that. So it's E5, E5, E5. And then I'm just going to copy this 4 times. 24 of them. And then change this to Twitter. And clear this. Select color. I don't know why I didn't set the color. So E5, 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 and then change this to Google Plus. Clear, select color. And then the last one will be Pinterest, or it could be LinkedIn. I'll do Pinterest. Clear. And then open design and layout. Change button theme to flat. Icon size change to medium. Rounding none. And padding low. And I think that's it. And then just apply. And let's click close. And now you'll see the social media icons. So the next thing is we're gonna edit this left side of the footer. So on the left side, just click this back button, and that's the bottom footer area. So click on the bottom, footer bottom area, and click Add a Widget. And we're gonna add editor, site origin editor. Click that. I'm gonna go back to my notes and copy this. And paste that in there. So this right here would be your website name. And you'll notice we have this style tag. This is the same thing as CSS, but it's applied to this element, which is the P tag. It's an HTML tag that stands for paragraph. And what this does, it's adding padding to the top. So let me just remove this. Let me remove this so you can see what I mean. So it's gonna close this. So I'm just gonna click close, and you'll see, if you notice, this isn't centered, so it doesn't look that nice because this is kind of centered and this is up above. So we go back in here and we wrap this in a P tag, which is just HTML. This is a P tag, HTML. And if you're not familiar with HTML, it's the language that is used to format web pages. So everything in the web page is made with HTML. So let me close this. Oops, excuse me. Go back. I'm just gonna copy this actually and go to text, because we're looking at the visual, so it's going to show the tag. So if you go to text, this is actually what the HTML view. Paste that in there. Then click close. Now you'll see it's vertically centered. So to show you what I meant by HTML, if you're wondering, just click this Save and Publish, and then click the X to close it. And then if you're using Google Chrome or most browsers, if you right click on the page and you go View Page Source, you'll see the HTML of the page. So if you look at this, it can get pretty complicated. So thankfully for CMSs like WordPress, we don't have to deal with this very much. Only in special cases when you need to customize things do you have to do HTML. So this is HTML. So that p tag we added was just a little piece of HTML that we needed to add just so we could add some padding, because that's the only way we can do that. So now if you scroll down, you'll see it's centered. And I think that is about it. That is the last piece of how to make a one-page website with WordPress. So now you'll see if we click Services, it scrolls to Services, or if you click Team, it scrolls to Team, or About, it'll scroll to About, and it highlights it too. So that looks pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making some follow-up videos based on comments and questions people have on this video. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. This is my first video, so I'm sure I made many mistakes, but from your feedback, I'm going to revise this video and improve it, and add any additional things that people have missed, or things I missed to add to the video. So please subscribe and like my video and ask any questions in the comments, and I will answer any comments. And also you can email me at help@upword.com right here, as I mentioned before, if you have any questions. That's it. Thank you very much.